Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my course Essentials of SQL Server Performance for Every Developer. You are watching the video of Module 5 capturing what your application is doing inside SQL Server, Part 8 Analyzing Extended Event Trace Data. If you are new to this course, please start it from the course introduction video for better understanding. Thank you. When an extended event session produces an output file, the file produced is an XEL file, and you can open this file right in the Management Studio. So you just go to the file, open, file again, and then just find the XEL file on your hard drive that you want to open and click open. And so there we go. We can view our data now. I am also going to get my column definitions. So I am going to go up and I am going to do that real quick. And now we have got a better view of our data. If you watch the clips on SQL Profiler or you view SQL Profiler, you know that Profiler was pretty limited in terms of what we could do with the data. But for this extended event files, we actually can do quite a bit in Management Studio with this data. First of all, I can sort the data just by clicking on the column header. I can also filter the data right here in the UI by clicking on the filter button. That's going to bring up this dialog where we can add filter clauses. So you just click to add a clause and then you can select the criteria, the operator and the values. If I use the arrow key here to cycle through some of these values, you can see all the fields that we are collecting for this event we can now filter on. So I am going to select CPU time as a filter, then I can select greater than equal to, and finally I give this filter a value of 2 lakhs because this value is in microseconds, so that will be 2 seconds. So this will now show us in the UI all the statements that took 2 seconds or more of CPU time. So filter like this can be very useful in order to narrow down the data set and look at just what you need. In addition to a filter on something like duration or CPU time, we could also create a filter that was only for a certain time frame, statements from a certain host, or a filter that would look for a certain table name in the statement text for our event. So we could see just the statement that run against a single table. So this is pretty useful what we can do with filtering right here in Management Studio now. And we don't have to go through the extra step of exporting our data and getting it into Excel or something like that. We can do all of that right here. In addition, if we do filter the data down and we want to share just that filter subset of data with some of our colleagues, we can go up here to the extended event menu item, then down to export to, and you can see that we can export this filter view of the data to a separate XEL file, a table in SQL Server, or a CSV file. So that's really useful when you just want to share a subset of data with someone to analyze. One of the other features that Management Studio gives us is that rather than viewing just a list of raw events like we are now, we actually can group our events together and generate aggregate statistics on them. So let's do that. First, I am going to aggregate my data together. And I am going to do that by the SQL text of this statement, which is this column, SQL text. Remember, this was the global field for our events that we made sure to capture when we set up our trace. And we did that because this field contains just the SQL of the statement or the stored procedure name and not the parameters. So now that we can group our statements by that SQL. So we see that view of the data here. And this basically tells us how many times a SQL statement or a stored procedure executed while we are running our trace. If we want to see the individual statement, we just click on the little plus sign and then we see the individual statements under that grouping. We can even sort these statements within the group by double clicking the column headers. So of course, one of the things you want to look here is if you have a statement that's being executed thousands of times more than any other statements, and then ask yourself what that is. For example, maybe a statement is being executed inside of a loop. So your application is going to the database over and over and again And that could be an indication that you want to take a look at that piece of code and refactor it. The next thing that we can do is we can get some aggregate statistics for each of these statements. And we do that by clicking on the aggregation button. And now for all of these other fields that we are displaying, we can get some aggregate statistics like average or sum. So for this example, I am going to sum up the CPU and the duration. And I am going to click OK. And now I see I have the summary statistics displayed along with the statements. So what this allows you to do is to run a trace which is going to capture data about a specific process, and then you could filter down just to that data, either at capture time or after the fact in this video, using the filter button as we just saw. And then for that process that you have the data for, you could figure out not only which statements had the highest average CPU usage or the highest duration, which would indicate the longest average wait, but you can also see that for all the statements that were running by this process or in this window of time that you have captured, which statement has the most total CPU or resulted in the most total duration that the application was waiting. So you can really zero in on what a process is doing and where the performance bottlenecks are in that process in terms of the data access. So we have seen how to use extended events to capture a trace with the on-premises version of SQL Server. Taking the trace in Azure is very similar. There are just a few differences, so we will cover those in the next video. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.